Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys some of my best tips and tricks to help you guys edit faster in this game. I'm going to show you guys some strategies that I use personally that helps me be a lot more accurate with my edits and also at the same time being much faster. So if you guys are looking to improve your editing speed, definitely stay to the end of the video because these tips will help you guys out a lot. And real quick, before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. So if you guys want to take part in this giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys do turn on post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video and when I announce the winners. And lastly, leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And lastly, make sure you guys do support me in the item shop. All you guys have to do is go down to the bottom right, click on support a creator, type in creator code YoungHumor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator in the item shop. And alright guys, let's right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to give you guys some very good tips and tricks you guys can use to improve your editing speed and get a lot better. So the first thing that I want to talk about that I think is really important is when you're wanting to improve your editing speed. I think it's really important because I get a lot of comments saying that they practice a lot and they don't feel like they're improving. So one thing that you want to do when you're practicing your edits is you want to find a way to notice how you're improving. So a really good example and something that I like to do a lot if I'm looking to specifically improve my editing speed is doing something as simple as doing editing courses. Now the reason why this is important is because when you're doing an editing course, a lot of these have a timer, meaning that you can see how long it takes for you to do the editing course. So every single day that you practice during the course, you try to get a better time, and that's how you can see yourself improving. Because a lot of the times when you're practicing in this game, you're not going to be getting better overnight, and you can usually improve and get a lot better at this game in a couple of days to maybe a week. But that's just one of the things that a lot of people, maybe when they're playing, they just don't see themselves improving. So a really easy way to see yourself improve is to have some sort of way in which you can track your progress, and that's why I like having editing courses as a way to improve your edits, because I think there's other ways. I like practicing my edits off of high ground retakes, but when you're practicing retakes, there's no really clear way to really see how much you're improving. But when you have editing courses and you have a timer, you can really just time yourself going through the course and you can really see exactly how much you're improving off of your edits. And I think that's a really good way to practice, just because you want to see yourself improve. Otherwise you might be a little bit discouraged and you're not going to really understand why you're not improving, when in reality you could be improving just a little by little, but you just don't see it because you don't have any sort of some sort of standard that you can really compare to see yourself improve. And the other thing that I really like about editing courses is they incorporate pretty much all the edits in the game, or at least some of the major ones that you would use. So editing down, you have wall edits, you have double edits, you have pretty much every edit that you would use in game. And a lot of times if you're just practicing by yourself in creative, you're only going to be practicing edits that you maybe are really comfortable with, which is not the best way to improve. So I think it's really good to try out different editing courses because they're going to have different edits to try out. They might have double edits, triple edits, they might have some edits that you probably would not have done before. So I think that's a really good way to practice different edits that maybe you wouldn't have before, and that's really going to help you improve at this game when it comes to your editing, when it comes to any sort of structure, and also your editing speed in this game. So like I said, the main reason why I like editing courses is because you have a timer and you can really see each day how much you're improving. And of course, not every single day you're going to have a linear improvement. Some days might be a little bit faster than others, but the trend is every single week or every single couple of days, you want to see improvements to what it was before. And if you're a little bit newer, or if you want to just practice one specific edit, one thing you can do is you can set up a couple walls, and you should try to see how many walls you can get through without messing up. And you can try edit, reset, re-edit. I mean, you can try whatever edit you want to, and the goal is to really try to track your progress, so every day you try to get so far without messing up, and that's how you're going to be improving at this game very quickly. And also improving your double edits are going to be important as well. But another thing you guys want to do to improve your editing speed is something that I showed in a couple videos, is when you're editing, you want to keep your crosshair as close as possible, because when you're going for an edit, you don't have to go all the way from the top of the square to the bottom of the square. You only have to barely touch the square for it to activate. So there's no need of wasting a bunch of extra time editing the entire square. So just keeping your movements concise, keeping it very dense is going to be very important. And one way you can do this, if you find this very difficult, is going to be lowering your editing sensitivity, because if you play on a very high editing sensitivity, it can be very difficult to do so, because you're going to have less control over your crosshair. So that is something that, of course, when you play on controller versus keyboard, which I'll show in a second, it's much more difficult to have a more controlled movement, unless you play on exponential settings. But when you play on linear settings, it's a little bit harder to make those very small, concise movements. But you just always want to keep this in mind. When you're going for edits, you want to keep it as concise as possible. You're not going to be having it perfect every single time. And of course, it is easier on mouse and keyboard, as I'm showing here. It's so much easier to keep your crosshair in line. But of course, when you're playing on controller, it's just something that you want to keep in mind when you're going for edits. It's not going to be as perfect as you want to, just because it's much harder to make those smaller movements on controller. And a lot of you guys do play on linear settings, same as myself, and making those small analog stick adjustments can be kind of annoying. So the next thing you guys want to practice is you really want to be very comfortable with double editing and also resetting off of that edit. Now, the main reason, or the specific reason, which I'll get into in just a second, in which you want to practice these edits specifically, but there is a lot of ways, or a lot of different ways to practice. You always want to practice being very comfortable with editing cones. But the specific reason in which you want to be practicing these type of edits the most is because you're going to be dealing with these type of edits in game quite a bit. So for example, what happens pretty much every single game, especially in my solo games, because people play super slow and campy, is you're going to be encountering a lot of box fight type situations, meaning that you're going to have to be very comfortable with editing and resetting double edits, maybe even triple edits in boxes. Because as you can see here, when you're going for edits, in and out of boxes, this is very important to be very quick at, because if you're in a gunfight and you need to get off a quick mini or a quick HP, you need to buy yourself enough time. And the best way to buy yourself time is to be very quick with your builds and edits, being very precise and knowing exactly what you want to do, being able to build, edit, and also reset as quick as possible. So that's why you want to practice being very comfortable going in and out of boxes, editing cones, resetting cones, going for double edits, maybe even triple edits. I think that is going to be one of the most important things to have mastered and have down, and that's going to improve your editing speed and also be some of the most practical things that you can use in game. So just being very comfortable with all sort of cone edits and also in boxes is going to be one of the best things to improve your editing speed and also be the most practical for game. Also, another setting, if you guys don't already have on, you want to make sure you have auto open doors. So if you guys are a little bit newer and you guys haven't seen before, you want to have this setting on. A very easy reason is because when you go for an edit, and it doesn't matter how good of an editor you are, eventually you're going to mess up one of your wall edits. And if you mess up and you have auto open door feature on, it automatically opens up the wall, so you don't lose as much momentum as you would before if you didn't have this setting on. So you want to make sure you have that setting on. It's very, very useful for a lot of situations. The next thing you guys want to practice on, I think, is practicing your tunneling, and this kind of goes hand in hand with practicing your double edits and resets, because if you can be very good at tunneling, if you can be very good at boxing up, being extremely quick at going for double edits, editing cone, you're going to be very hard to even just touch in a game. So if you're very good at tunneling and you're very good at double editing, editing cones, resetting cones, floors, and just everything in between, you're going to be very difficult to hit in game. It's going to give you a major advantage over other players, whether you're playing some zone wars, box fights, solos, arenas, whatever you guys like to play. This is going to give you a major advantage in this game. It's going to help you improve your editing speed and just your overall quickness in this game. So that's why you want to practice tunneling. And when you practice tunneling, just being very accurate with it, because a lot of times when you're practicing your edits, if you constantly mess up, one thing you should do is just slow it down a little bit, because here I am going just full speed with my tunneling. And of course, I'm not the most perfect tunneler ever. I'm still going to mess it up from time to time, but if I do mess it up, I slow it down a little bit, make sure my builds are very accurate, because you don't want to build or edit and then just be very sloppy with it. You want to practice being very accurate and also not being just all over the place. So being very accurate is going to save you a lot of materials, and also it's going to help you improve over the long run. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you found this video very helpful, make sure you guys do drop a like, make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, make sure you guys do hit that notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new upload, and as well I do live stream every single day here on this channel at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you guys do hit that notification bell so you guys can see when I go live here on this channel. I've been going on some really good win streaks, I've been playing very well on stream, so definitely come by if you guys haven't already. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.